Okay, we're coming back on the air. Waiting to see if I have options or not. I do. Wow, that's like 4 times in a row. Okay then. Hello, mostly people who are seeing this VOD and not people live, because it takes a while before people start filing in after I go live. Especially when I'm not following a schedule. So anyway, this is surprise stream 2 of today, which is stream 412. I'm working on porting a C++ implementation of a Uniform Resource Identifiers library, which is implementing a certain internet protocol, to Rust. So it's going to be mostly continuation of the last 3 streams. Hopefully, I want to soon wrap up this library and get on to something new, because it shouldn't take more than like 3 or 4 streams to do this. So where I left off was right around here. I'm in the middle of porting this ugly IPv6 address verifier. So I'm just going to continue as if I never stopped. All right. Yeah, I was looking at this just now and realizing I don't think I actually need to have this clause in here. I think this is supposed to catch where we have a trailing colon. If we get to the last character and we're expecting something after a colon, then we need to have an error. So I think I'll just drop this clause and then unindent that and then continue. All right, so I'm going to need this IPv4 address validator. Looks like, and this is going to be an associated function, right? So it's going to be self : : All right. Snake case it is. All right, and then the substring here will be just slice from there on. I think that's the equivalent of that. Remove the excess parentheses. Looks like I accidentally collapsed that. Okay, so this is going to validate for us, so we don't have to have this logic. This can simply be a question mark. Then, yeah, get rid of this. Okay, so rather than returning a bool, we're supposed to just check if either of these cases is true, right? So, hey, welcome back, Nui. Hello again. You're up late. Isn't it like really late in Europe? It's like probably midnight or so. Okay. This has to yield a value that we then decide whether or not we're going to generate an error, right? It's already Thursday. Wow. Welcome to Thursday. Can I have a double if? You can't do this, can you? I'd be surprised if you could do this. Yeah, I guess what we'll do is say correct number of groups. Num groups correct. And then say if not, well, if num groups correct, then okay. And then we're supposed to return something, right? The original address. Do we need to do that? I don't think I actually ended up doing that, did I? Oh, but I meant to. I meant to do that. Where did I do it in the original code here? When we're looking at a registered... Oh no, this is an IPv6 address. Yeah, okay. Hey, another resub. Shafalton with 5 months. Thank you for the resub. I have to ask, were you here on the last stream, or is this the first time you've been on today? So I streamed, what, a good 4 hours or so? Then I had to take a hour off to eat lunch and pick up kids from school. Since it was such a long break, I decided just to stop the stream, rate someone else, and then start the stream when I got back. I'm just curious now who's coming in for the first time today or who was here before and just jumped back. All right. Maybe I need to turn this into a... No, I'm going to keep it as a result. First time today? Well, welcome. Yeah. So this is the 4th stream, 3rd day. So this is the 2nd stream of today. Doing some porting of this function in C++ into equivalent in Rust. All right. I don't actually think I need to return anything because this is just validating. It's not converting anything. Let me make sure though, like when we call this, what context do we use? Yeah, so we validate it. That host, but what do we do with it? Wait, hold on. Is this gonna work the way I have it coded? I don't even know if this is gonna work. Yeah, the types aren't even the types aren't even right, so this is not gonna work. So how did this work here? Did it do conversion before? Hold on a sec. I had to prevent the vacuum cleaner from starting. I told my kid, could you just not vacuum for a couple hours? Yeah. Sometimes it's not obvious when I'm streaming, even when I have the lights and the blue screen behind me. All right. This builds up a host by pushing characters back in, right? So... Right, it's pushing the raw characters in. Okay, so it's not decoding. It's not doing any kind of decoding on them. Isn't that a problem? Yeah. Central European Standard Time, people unite. Hey there, Aurora Driven. And Shifalton, hello again. All right, I'm confused because it doesn't look like we're doing any kind of decoding in here. I'm wondering if we're not allowed to... If this doesn't support percent encoded host names, or if I've somehow missed that. You were live all day today? Well, I rated someone else, so I was offline for an hour. Okay. I guess you could say all day from the point of view of Central European Standard Time, because I've been streaming since midnight. Well, not quite. I started 7 minutes after. So there's a 7-minute window of time I wasn't live. I'm wondering if I have... Oh no, here's the decode element. Oh, that's for user info though. Where do I decode the host part? Oh, it's decoded in line. That's how it works. It's decoded in line. Okay. Well, how do we enter that state then? We enter it if it's not a literal IP. Does that mean host names can't have percent encodings in it? Hold on, I need to verify. Look at the spec. Let's look for a host. Probably up here. Yeah, this allows percent encoded. Yeah. I wonder if that's a bug in the C++ code. Wait, hold on. No, wait a minute. I'm confusing myself again. I should just not talk until I get my bearings here. We look ahead to see if it's a IPv6 address, right? If it's not, we go into this state, which does handle percent encodings. And it is forming this host, which is a decoded host. Right. Now, where does it get IPv6 address? Oh, right here. Yeah. I suppose then, if we know that they are UTF-8 compliant, I can just simplify it and make it string. So this could actually be a string. Oh, it is a string. Oh, right. This... Okay, that should have worked then. What's wrong with this then? Oh, it's expecting it to be returned back out as what? Decoded? Why did I decide to do it that way? This C++ version didn't do that, right? I think what we did is we just assumed it didn't need to be percent decoded because you can't have a percent encoded IPv6 address. Verify. IPv6 address. Yeah, okay. So IP literals are either IPv6 address or IP future, but neither one has percent encoded support. Yeah. All right. So let me change this to no longer assigned to host. Instead, I think we'll just build host here. Host equals... Now that is a vector, right? So I can just take IPv6 address and map it. Each character we decode like we were doing before. This one. Because it wouldn't have validated properly unless this is safe. Right. So then and then collect it. Now why won't it let me map? Oh, cares? Yeah, there we go. So we just do that. All right. And this doesn't have to return anything. Cool. And that's misspelled. Did I misspell it in the other code too? It's possible. Oh, look at that. I misspelled it. Address, not address. Well, how embarrassing. Fixed. All right, anyway. It's just okay, right? Else error illegal character. And I promise to come back there and make more variation in the errors. Anyway, we'll need to validate IPv4 now. Address string. It actually has the same signature, doesn't it? And we'll call this unimplemented. All right. So then back to the tests, I guess. I don't have any... Yeah, I don't have any bookmarks, so... Well, I do have a compiler error, though. Expected... Oh, I need to borrow that slice. You're unsure what word is correct? I just have used the word so often in English, I know it's ADDRESS in English. But I'm sure if I learned German, I would get really confused about how many D's are in the word. Out of curiosity, what's the French word for address? I think it's also the same, but it's spelled differently. Google Translate. Address. French. Please. Yeah, so it's also 1D in French. There you go. Your delay is worse. I'm sorry. Sorry your delay is bad right now. Okay, I somehow broke this entire thing. Can assign twice to immutable variables. Okay, so we must have a state somewhere. State equals. Oh, yeah, it needs to be mutable. Okay, and the whole thing has a warning now? Because it's too many lines. Okay, let's have a to-do here. To-do. Rust correctly advises us that this function needs refactoring because it's because it has too many lines. We'll get back to that. For now, I'm going to allow what was the warning? Clippy too many lines. I guess we'll just say Clippy is the one who's telling us, right? Alright, that's not needed yet. What other warnings can I take care of right now that happen to be around here? What's up with this one? Wildcard match will miss any future added variants. Okay, so what's the fix for that? Fill match arms. None? Whoops. Why did it move my cursor when I did an undo? Did it just do a whole bunch of formatting for me? No. Yeah, so anyway, this should be... Okay, that's corrected. What's the error now? Incompatible arms. What? Oh, I see what it's trying to tell me. It's saying... No, there's something else going on. Let's just hit undo a few more times. It must have changed something else here. This should say none, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know what... I messed it up somehow. The search... The replacement tool messed it up somehow. Should have snake case name indeed. How did that get changed? Probably by a search replace problem. His first character. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. There we go, fixed it. Alright, we're warning free now? No problems detected! Woohoo! Alright. Where are my tests? There are my tests. Run them all. Okay. I think we have a little bit of tests overwriting each other there, don't we? Yeah, I can't even read that out, but it's some kind of backtrace mixed with something else. Okay, but it's test, it's IP, it's this one. There we go. Let's run that one alone. All right, panic not implemented. Yeah, the IPv4 check is needed now. All right, another state machine. All right. So this is let mute num groups. This, I think we still should have a proper enum for this. So let mute state equals state. What names to pick here? Not an octet, not in octet. Not in octet, and expect digit or dot. There have to be good reasons for splitting a function, not just length. Length might indicate one should have a second look. With splitting, it might even hurt readability. That's true. I will evaluate that when we get there, I think. Oh, yeah. It's just telling me don't define types after declaring variables. Okay, we start in the not in octet state, right? And there's a reason I had this octet buffer. Oh, right, because we are using it to validate octet. I was really pedantic with this, wasn't I? Yeah. We don't even need that because I can use Rust's built-in integer parser. Okay. What's wrong with this? I don't know. Ah, it went away. Okay, let octet buffer equals string new. Okay, so for C in address chars. Oh, that address. There we go. Okay, now switch is, so this is state equals match state. Not state not in octet leads to if the digit contains that character, then okay, then we have to do this as this U8 try from. Okay, this business right here is taking the character. Characters are always convertible to uint 32-bit integers, but then when we downcast to uint 8, try from make sure that we don't accidentally truncate something, and it should pass because I only put things in digit which should fit, but just in case we'll panic, you know, in case I have some kind of weird bug. One cool thing you should consider using even the previous function is matching on a tuple of state and character. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey there, Silenzy. Also, hello to Team View Select. Yeah, I think I will do that. To do, consider improvement. There we go. Now I won't forget. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do straight porting, then refactor to improve it. But the straight porting could if there's something trivial, I'll definitely put it in. So this is push, right? An octet buffer ought to be just octet buffer underscore octet underscore buffer. All right. Oh, I put this in the wrong place. That's C, and then this is push that. And then state should be state expecting digit or dot. And then, yeah, the way I'm doing this is that, right? And then instead of return false, it's return error in illegal character. We don't need breaks, it's commas. Then we have this state next. If it's a dot, otherwise it has to be a digit. Otherwise it's an illegal character. Comma. Semicolon. Okay. This, okay, so that's a post increment, right? Why do I have a post increment greater than or equal to 4? Shouldn't it be a pre-increment? I don't know why I did it that way. Use some acid, do not rust. But we are using an acid when we get rust, right? It's a very weak acid, right? Or I don't know. I'm not a chemist. Yeah, salt water and electrical current to rapidly oxidize. Okay. I don't know why I did that. This should just be num groups. Oh, no, this is groups of octets. Okay, that's just a strange way for me to write it. I don't know why I did the post increment like that. It should be at this point, if it's greater than 4, then we got a problem, right? It should be a different error. We'll put that in there for now. I'm going to review all the errors later. Okay, this should just say self-validate. Actually, no, I don't need to do this. It's just U8. No, not even U8. It's octet buffer parse into a U8, right? Or try parse or something? Or is it? It might be parse. Yeah, and then that I made error convertible, I'd hope. If not, I'll have to put an extra thing on that. So I don't need that. Then, yeah. Parse borrows self. So yeah, that's why I had this do a... Is there a clear? There's a clear. What's the big syntax error here? Oh, this thing. That's what it is. Thank you for the follow. That. Otherwise, we remain in the state. There we go. And then that's just push. Okay, yeah, so I can't convert that. So if that is error, we gotta do that. Expected care found Uint8. Okay, why? Actually, now that I think about it, why am I converting it to bytes here? We don't need to. Yeah, okay, simpler. If it's not empty, we're just repeating this work up here, right? So yeah, with that check. Okay. So I can just repeat this check again. What if I make a handy little functor? No, that won't work because it's got returns in it. Actually, I could still do it. So we're gonna let validate group equal something like this, and that has this code in it. Might as well just do all of this, right? I suppose we have to capture stuff by reference. Is that how we do it? I forget how to do this. That's not the right syntax. What is it? Oh, no, that's not the problem. The problem is what it returns. There we go. So then I can just say validate group up here. Like that. And then repeat it down here. And then here we still need to, it has to be exactly 4 at the end, right? So turn that into if, I guess. And then we need a different error here eventually, like not enough octets. Oh. Yeah, we can't. Well, wasn't there a way to borrow? Oh, yeah, it needed to be mutable anyway. That was the problem. And this doesn't have any state in it. Why would we need to mark it as mutable. Because we're calling it more than once. But it has no... I guess it does sort of have a side effect. All right. Oh, we borrowed it twice. We can't do that. Okay, yeah. So my clever approach of having that in a closure is not going to be cool because we're going to end up multi-borrowing the octet buffer. Okay, so... yeah, I can't be clever right now. I'll just duplicate the code, I guess. Thank you for that follow, by the way. We're going to put that there. For now. Return the OK. Okay. Get rid of that. But I need this, at least this part here. Well, then I don't need this. Yeah, that'll work. Pass the buffer as... yeah, I guess I could pass them all as arguments. Should I go back and try that? It would help. Well, except for it's going to give me a problem about num groups, right? Let me consider improvements. So let me... validating... validating the octet buffer. Validation of the octet buffer is done in 2 places. Consider how to remove the redundancy. Remove the redundant code. We'll do it later. Why do now what you can do later? Run the test. Hey, look at that. It worked. It just worked. I like it when it just works. Moving on. Generate string. Okay, this is the opposite direction. So I think I'm done with all the parsing. Okay, here's another parsing example. I should probably do this one first. Fragment empty but not present. Okay, so this is a bunch of these. URI parse. Okay, so this should be some empty binary string, right? For fragment. No? Oh. This business again. All right, and then... oh, this requires me to do the generate stuff. Okay, well... and the setters, I haven't done any of that yet. How often do we use setters? I did in the original C++ code. That's heavily modified to work with URI parse, so I need to go back and look at the original here. Oh yeah, this is using all the setters. Okay. So then, So my approach in C++ was the URI was its own kind of builder. URI parse's idea was they had a special class called a builder. I kind of like the idea that you can mutate the URI with some setters, though. But that requires that there be a default URI, which I guess it makes sense that you could have a default URI, right? I could probably even default it. Yeah. So let me go back to doing this in the unit test. Okay. And put that here. So we'd say let URI equal URI default, which we don't have yet. And yeah, this would be set scheme. Set user info, set host. Well, we just have set port here, right? And then it would depend on if there is one or not. Actually, no, we'll just use option in both. So it's just going to be test vector.port. Should just fix the snake case on these right now. There we go. Okay, and then set path. This would just be set query. Set fragment. Don't need a URI builder. Don't need any of this stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, and then that. User info's alright, URI parse split username from password, so it's just user info. Got it. Okay. Did I mess with passwords or no? I just had Bob in there. Okay. I might have had some tests that had it before. Oh, okay, I need to fix these tests. They added an extra slash in there. Right, so these have extra slashes that are not necessary. That's probably going way off the end of the screen for you guys. These all have unnecessary slashes in URI parse, not for my code. And here's another one where there's an extra slash that doesn't need to be there. Okay, and this one didn't work at all. Yeah, because that they have a bug, or that's not even implemented. This one, they didn't even implement IPv6 addresses that had IPv4 strings in them, and I'm gonna have to line these back up, obviously, because it just looks odd if I don't. I'm violating my usual custom of not aligning columns. Good night, Nui. Thanks for stopping by again. Have a pleasant evening. Alright. Because URI parser requires a host to emit any authority, we have to use some host here. Okay, yeah, this is where I would rather use none. So, yeah. And then also there's an extra slash, which we don't need. So I'm removing it. Okay, and I gotta line some of these back up again. It's off the end of my screen. It's probably a mistake for me to like actually line these up. That's okay though. It's almost like a OCD thing to line these up right now. So I'm just gonna do it. Must align. Okay. Looking good. Okay, so for percent encoded ones, they do not do it for... Okay, so ours does support it, so I can put the space in there. And there. And there. And there. Cool. And there. Can you not use a VS Code extension for alignment? I don't know, is there one? That would be a pretty cool extension if there was one that did that. Something called Better Align? I guess I could look into it. Whoa. I hit the wrong key and all my windows got iconified. Don't you love hitting the wrong key? Thank you very much, Leonardo Smith. I'll consider that not this moment, but a little bit later. I figure I'm not doing this all day, I'm just doing it for this one test, so it's not that bad. Although I keep hitting the wrong keys. No, no. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Okay, here we can put that in. We can put a weird character in there. What did I have in C++ for that? Am I in the wrong place? I think I am in the wrong place. No, that is the correct place. Where is the weird string? Ah, there it is. It's this symbol. Goes here. Right? Yes. And then the other one has a space in it. Right. Okay. Hey there, 71529. Welcome back. Okay, that one is its own area, right? Normalization of address hex digits. But it also had a fragment. Why did I put a fragment in there too? I don't know why. It just kind of ended up in there. I mean, I guess it looks fine. There's no real reason for me to do this funky extra space here. Ah. Hit the wrong key. I need to be more careful typing. Why is it putting a run debug here? I think it's really confused. Here, just reload. Oh, you know what? It's because I am modifying the C++. I'm just being dumb. What am I doing here? Just leave that C++ alone. There we go. Yeah, I thought he was pretty awesome too. He was working with video streams. Although he was using GStreamer, so he gets to leverage a lot of the codecs that you get with GStreamer. You know what would be even more awesome is to do the codecs yourself. That would be super awesome. Maybe it made me think one day maybe I'll do that. Like, what if I started working on making a SIP phone and I just do all of the codecs myself based off of the reference C implementations that you can get from ITU. That would be fun, right? Once we get it to work, we can actually call people on their SIP phones. Okay, I need default. That's the only thing missing here, right? So, as my understand, oh, there's some errors down here. Oh, let's comment this out for now, so we can compile. We'll get back to that one later. Fix this test. Just to make sure it compiles. We're missing something else. Right, the default. So I think I can just derive default, right? From where am I? These are my errors. Okay. I think I can just derive default here, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm missing. I do have to do all the setters. And I need the toString too. I need a whole bunch of stuff. Which these things, yeah, these leverage them anyway, so might as well bring this one in too. Okay, so, wait. I missed something here. This should be none. And I don't need all these unwraps for the setters, do I? Setters don't need unwraps. And yeah, I need to clean this up a little bit more, right? This should just be B for URI fragment. No? Oh, some. Yeah, and I can't just do a raw one. Oh, I can't. No, I can't. Because of that problem, which I will eventually need to figure that out. Okay, but these are all cool, except for I need toString, which is the display trait, right? And then I need all the setters. I suppose we'll do the setters now. Let's do it. QRS. Okay, so right here. So in front of all of these, pub function set, go one word over, one character over, and then mute self, comma, and then remove that word, go over one word, colon, and then most of these are going to be reference U8. End. Unimplemented. Like that. Cool. All right, so then what am I missing? Okay, so some of these, the path is not like that. This one's a bunch of vectors, right? Or do I say this? Can I say that? A slice of slices. I think I can, right? Okay, so then I think I can say that. Port is oh, a lot of these are optional, right? And port is a U16. Query and fragment are optional. Host is also optional. Actually, I hesitate to even have a set host. I'm wondering if I should have a set authority and then you have to build an authority. I'll just do it this way. Thank you for the follow. Was scheme bytes? I thought scheme was just a text. Let me hit the right buttons. There we go. Yeah, optional. Okay, there is an optional stream. Okay, so set scheme should be also. Oh, why did I do some? It's option. String, right? Yes. Yeah, these all need to be option, not some. And then go over and that. There we go. This one got corrupted though. That's that and that. Cool. What's the compiler error now? All right, the toString, right? So that's the display trait. Impl display for URI. A little bubble. It's standard format or something, right? Yeah, there we go. Wait, what was the... What did it say there? Replace qualified path with use? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay. Cool, so there's our formatter. So here's where I'm going... To do's fine, right? Or let's just make that unimplemented. Maybe I should have been using to do instead of unimplemented. Let me change all the unimplemented to to dos. To do there in one fell swoop. Okay, what compiler errors do we have remaining now? Okay, we have some of these here. Oh, right, the empties. I have a couple more somewhere. Oh, all of these. Oh. These have to all be binaries. So this one, actually all of these, right, are U8s. Oh, that's gonna mess up my spacing. No! I'm done for. All my spacing's for naught. Oh, and the paths are all gonna be messed up too. Okay. Okay, I can manage. I can deal with this. I'm not going to do that wacky list of vectors here. I'm just going to take a binary string. Yeah, that's my compromise, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to have to make another set path that allows me to set it as a string. What's a static U8? It's a static lifetime. So it's a reference to a slice. It's a slice of a byte array at a static lifetime. Because they're literals, right? Literal byte strings. All right, B is there. Oh, my spacing is all messed up now. These need to be UTF-8. So those are strings. These are not. Maybe I should just remove all the redundant, all the extra white space. I should just give up on the white space. Here's an important place where you could have a... I chose to have a UTF-8 sequence, but I didn't need to have one. Actually, what happens when you do that? Yeah, it doesn't... I thought it might not like that. I can do this 2 bytes, right? You can't do it 2 bytes on a string? Huh. As. You can do as? No, I don't think it's gonna work. I think I just have to give up. Let's not even bother with Unicode here. Let's just put these raw bytes in there. Just do \x's for them. Like that. Alright. The multi-cursors, like, does that save me a keystroke? I guess. So just that, and then... B. Oh, missed some. By the way, if you can't hear it over in my microphone, the cat is yelling at me. He's not sleeping anymore. He's wandering around yelling. Who knows what he wants, but he's, you know, meowing at the top of his lungs. Yeah, my spacing is all messed up. Okay, so I think what I want to do here is we'll have an alternate set path. Set path string. How about from str? Set path. So this will be a convenience function. I wonder if it's going to matter if I have different, I should probably have this have different lifetimes for the 2 references, right? That would make sense, because I don't want the lifetimes of these 2 references to be tied together. Okay, so then just mark that to do. Just to make sure it builds, there's one other problem down here. Oh, yeah. Those can, since we're using that convenience function, that can go back to a slice. A string slice. So all these path B's can be fixed again. Oops. There we go. Got it back. So, dang it. Thrashing code. Hey, long time no see. Yeah, I've been gone for about a month and a half. How are you doing? Also, hello, Leonardo Smith, the Marco Dev. We're all back for surprise stream number 2 of the day. I'm rusting. Yeah, slices. Literal strings are slices, right? In Rust. I don't know Go, but I'm sure if you say Go also has slices, then I believe you. Okay, then this needs to be mutable, and we should be good to go, right? Yes. Okay. So when I run this, we'll just have a bunch of we'll have a failure on something that needs to be done, so we'll just do it. Not yet implemented. Here we go. Set scheme. We can do this part. At least in name, yeah. Is it because they both are inspired or derived from OCaml? Or is it something else? Maybe they just inspire each other. So this should just be self.scheme equals scheme, right? Dot to owned. That is not going to exactly work. I need to turn it back into, is it as dref? Or as ref? As ref, maybe? Okay, I need to go the opposite direction. I need to turn option reference to T to a reference to option T. I don't know if there is something that I can do there. Yeah, it's the wrong direction. Do I have to do it with the match? I think I will just do that as right now because I don't know how to do it any other way. Some scheme dot to string. None. There, I did it. There, smack in the box. How are you doing? All right, so then going back to that test, I have a bookmark, yes. But it's in the wrong place. I want a bookmark up here. No, that was almost in the right place. Here's the right place. Run the test. A.map s into? Oh, right. I keep forgetting that option has a map thing. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you, 715209. And I hit the wrong key there. I meant to give you a point, not wave to you. But yeah, another wave. There you go. We're not implemented here. Okay. Yeah, you're saying that like instead of doing this, we could do self.scheme equals scheme.map scheme into. Sure. Which one's easier to read though? They both say scheme too much. Is there a benefit to abbreviating like that? Or not abbreviating? I think maybe if I don't abbreviate, it might be confusing what scheme means. But if I do that, then it's sort of obvious it's just a mechanic. Could I just do into? No. Can you do it without the map? that only works. Yeah, you can't do into from an option. Right? Yeah, that's not going to work. Map is just something you can do with option. That if the option has something in it, then it gives it to your function right here. And if it doesn't, if it's none, it just is a pass through. So I can actually click it and you'll see what it actually is. There you go. It's just a convenience functions to say if it's something, then take that something and run it through a function and put it back into a sum. But if it's none, leave it as none. So yeah, doesn't it look pretty much the same as what I wrote there? Only I did a toString instead of an into. Which one's better, toString or into? I think because it needs to go string implements from slice, so this just invokes it naturally, so maybe this is better? I suppose that's better. Yeah, alright. So I guess, yeah, if you don't know what it is, you can see, oh, it's that. That's one way to find out. Cloned could work there too. I think into's probably better, right? Because the convention of into is what? A value-to-value conversion that consumes the input value. It's the opposite of from. One should avoid implement to do and implement from. Prefer using into over from. But specifying trait bounds. It's infallible. I suppose it's preferred because then we let string figure out what into means. Their implementation of the from, right? So it depends on what strings from slice does. We could probably find that. If I go to Twitch, Rust docs, and I go to string, and we go to its implementation. Oh, wrong one. Go to its implementation of from this right here, and we'll see the conversion here. Yeah, see, if we use into, that flips around and does the from for string, and we let them do what we let the standard library pick the right function, in which case they picked toOwned. Right, so I think that's what we should prefer doing, because then we're kind of delegating to the string type. How do we get to string from slice of string? Yeah, I'm with you, Kenagozi. And hello, by the way. And Smack in the Box that never said hi. Hi. It keeps it generic. Yeah, if I change the types, it would still work. In fact, I could even make this... couldn't I make this a T? Whoops. I can say, like, where T is constrained by from T, where string implements from T. Or do you not have that? And then I don't have an at, oops. I don't need a reference there, right? Yeah, then there we go. That's even more generic. I think as deref goes the other way. This one, we actually need to clone it. So we need to make an owned value. But this is even more generic. Now it'll work with anything that can be converted to a string. Right? So, even more generic. The more generic I make things, the more it hurts my brain, though, because I'm just not used to seeing it like that. But I could do the same thing on all these other ones if I wanted. In fact, maybe that's what I'll do. So it's a similar thing for user info, right? User info is user info map into, and as long as that goes to the proper type that we have, which is where it's a vec of u8s is from t. What did I do wrong there? Oh, it's authority. Okay, this is more challenging because if there is no authority, we have to make one. If let some authority equals self-authority. No, it should be the other way around. Then self-authority equals authority default. Then it's self.authority.unwrap.userinfo. Mismatched types? Oh yeah, some. Okay, I don't want to move it out. It was, instead of, it's like as ref, right? And then I don't need to unwrap it? Or was it? Yeah, then there's an unwrap. As ref mute, right? Or as mute. There we go. Because we want to reach in and get a mutable reference to the authority. It had better, this unwrap is to catch if we didn't do that. And then we're going to update the user info, right? Although, you know, what if we set the user info to none, and I think we should handle the case where there's no authority left. It makes me think maybe I shouldn't have a set user info at all. I should have a set authority. How do I do it in C++? Set user info. Okay, I do store them separately. So authority has no separate structure. Oh, but then I had to have this. Yeah, okay. Unwrap or default, is that even better? But I would want to assign it back. I need to assign it back and store it in if it's none. I don't know if unwrap or default does that, right? I think unwrap or default, it would make a temporary for me, and then that would end up throwing it away, right? But this is the wrong way for me to do it anyway. Thank you for the follow. I think what I need to do instead of, I need to move these into authority. I think that's what I'm going to do. Set user info, set host and port into authority. There. And then I don't need to do that. And then that's just self.userinfo. Yeah, I think that's much cleaner. And then, so this is just host. With this same generic constraint. Is host not a vector of unit 8s? Yeah, it is. So what's wrong with this? Oh, it's not optional. This is just T. And then I don't need to map, do I? Yes. Okay, cool. Can you summarize what you're building and how far along am I? Sure. Is this a learning experience for Rust or part of a bigger project? It's actually both. I'm both doing this as a learning experience for Rust, but it's also part of a much larger project that has to do with the game that I've been developing. which is online now, but it doesn't have a whole lot of Rust in it. So I've been making this project over the last couple of years, and did not know Rust, but then, as the why Rust command explains, people kept asking me, why don't you try Rust? You'll really like it. You should check it out. So when I did, I'm like, I really do like this. I'd like to use this more. So rather than, I have several options, right? I can just start doing new stuff in Rust. I could, when I work on my game, not do Rust at all. I could do new things in Rust for the game, which is what most people would want me to do. But I'm doing the ludicrous option, which is I am going back to some of the building blocks within this game and porting them to Rust. And one reason I'm doing that is then I think it's easier to take something that already works, that has tests, and just port it to another language, rather than if I'm doing something new in Rust, then I'm really doing two things. I'm making something new, and I'm learning Rust at the same time, and I think that would be a lot more difficult. So as a way to learn Rust easier, I'm taking something that already works and making a Rust version of it. So that's in a sense what I'm doing. But it all adds up to building that game that I was just showing. So this is one of the most fundamental building blocks, right? This goes with, if I go back to chapter 3 here, it is the library for parsing strings that are used to locate web resources and other things into the various pieces, and I need this library to make either a web client or web server or other web kind of stuff. And there are implementations of this already for Rust, of course, but none of them really meet my requirements. So there are the two big candidates that I knew about. Was the HTTP crate has a basic URI support, but they admitted, the authors admit that it's not conforming completely to the RFC because they only need whatever HTTP needs. And then there's this URI parse crate that claims conformance, but I found at least 4 bugs in it, and also didn't like their API. So I did report the bugs, but nothing's being done about it, so I don't know if it's still active or not. I don't think there have been any changes to that project. So I could have done some pull requests in that project, but I really didn't like their API, and I'm kind of crazy and wanting to do stuff myself anyway, so opted to make my own crate. And no problem. A software over coffee. And hello. Okay, so this one's just another map, right? Because it might not be there. Oh, I don't need to do an into, actually. Can't I just assign it because it's copyable? I should be able to. It's not user info, it's port. Yeah, that supports the copy trait, so I don't even need to do an into in it. All right. So the consequence of this is that I need to have a set and get authority, right? And I probably should move the host. I should move this method and port if I have it, and username, user info. I need to move that into authority as well. That's what I'm going to do. Just going to move them into the correct class. And then really I ought to move this into its own module, right, called authority. Maybe? I don't know. You could argue that authority is a part of URI, so it can stay where it is, I guess. Okay, so then I don't need this complicated thing. We just return self-host reference, right? So I don't need any of this stuff. And that doesn't work. Why? Mismatch types. Ah, yes. I need to do an as deref. Right? No? Oh, because it's not optional. Right, it's not optional at all. So I can just do that. Yeah, it was optional because you might not have an authority at all. Alright, so then the other one was port. Here. Moving that out. Paste. So this is also optional, but we can just do self.port. I think. Yep. And then the other one was user info. Yep, we're moving that too. All the way to the top. Actually, you know, I could keep around those other functions as convenience methods. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'll leave them around as convenience methods, but I should delegate though. Where am I going? Authority. User info alphabetically is last. Okay, there. Okay, so this is just self.userinfo.as dref. Right? Okay, so can I actually make this generic over a T again? These getters? I could, couldn't I? I could say, again, where... But instead of from, I could do a to, right? Can I do that? Like, where T is into or from? Is that how this works? Maybe not. I shouldn't get over smart. Maybe I'll leave a note for myself. To do. Explore possibly making this and other setters generic to support anything that can be converted implicitly from the type we use to store the information being retrieved. And it's not really converted from, can be referenced implicitly from, right? As in, well, actually, I guess converted, because if you really wanted to, you could create something new when you get the host if it's supported. I'll look at that later. All right, so I'm going to use the magic of get to get back the functions I just erased. So this was just a fixing of a misspelling. Fix misspelling of that address. All right, so let me get back. So what I'll do is I'll stage everything, and then I'll unstage the deletions I didn't mean to do. Find them. Oh, ugly. It got split somehow. That's not good. Okay, let me get to that later. Ooh, it got split up a bunch of different ways. I don't like that. Sometimes Git is annoying. Yeah, so where was host first, right? I guess I got to do it line by line. All right, so then we'll put it back before... That's not even the right place. That's not even alphabetically the right place. So bad. Wow, it's already 4:30? I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes? Wow. Okay. H comes before I, right? Paste there. And I need to fix... These minuses don't belong. Unindent. Okay, and then we're missing the rest of it. The rest of it is here. And here. It got mixed up with something else that Git thought was similar. And then 2 brackets. Okay, so let's fix this. I love multiple cursors. I think I recovered it. Only that got indented somehow. Okay. So then refresh and See if it gets the hint now. So I added some of these methods. I implemented some of them. I added that one. Okay, that blank line is missing. All right. And then let's see if it now can if I can see, okay, no, that's not it. If I can see what was it? Query? No, port. Okay, that got split up too, unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to look for where query is. And put it right before that, right? And then the second half of it is this. Yeah, it incorrectly computed the difference there because it thought that those lines were for the same function. All right, so delete that, indent that and that, and that. Okay. How painful. At least I don't have to retype it all. So the third one was the user info, right? Did I not delete user info? I don't see it. I don't see a delete for it. Yeah. Did I not get rid of it? Oh yeah, it's still there. Oh no, that's authority. It is gone. Where was it before? I didn't see a delete for it. I'm looking. Oh, did I add it since the last check-in? So I'll have to recreate it then. Okay, I'll just recreate it. No big deal. So, we just need a copy of it in, just for convenience, in URI. But it needs to, make sure the authority is present first. Now, what am I doing? I'm looking at tests. So, this method is what? Validate, so a V comes after you. Okay, so right around here. All right. So then here we have to. It's sort of going to be like port, right? I keep looking at the wrong one. I want impl URI. Yeah, this one. Now go to user info, impl URI, and paste. Okay, so if some authority, then it's authority user info dot as dref. Otherwise, none, right? Cool. Now really I should delegate, right? It should be authority dot user info. Yes. And then I should go to host and do the same thing there, right? I should say authority.host. Self-authority host. Well, actually, no. Why didn't that not work? Oh, right. It's some. Cannot infer type for T. More annotations needed. Shouldn't it know it's that? So, do I really need to say that? Okay. Oh, wait. I can just do it this way, right? Why do I need to do that? Why do I need to do that? Why couldn't it figure it out? What if I say let host equal authority host? What do I get? Huh. Okay, well, I guess I can say that. I'm just surprised that it didn't infer the type from that. Actually, this still isn't working, is it? Why doesn't it understand that? Sure, but shouldn't it figure out what T is? Oh, wait. That's... Yeah, thank you, Silency. I left it there and it shouldn't be there. You're right. We're not even using it, so it shouldn't be there. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah. I was trying to add it, but I couldn't get it to work. You're right. All right, so one more, right? Port. I'm glad someone's paying attention, and you know, sometimes when I'm not paying attention. So that should delegate it. All right. Cool. So then, I should have a way of forming a new authority, right? And that's what we should have for the setters. Or no, I could just use setters. I really should have both. I should have both kinds, though, shouldn't I? Nah, we can just have it. It's defaultable. I just need to have the setters, and we're good, right? So I just need to have a get and set authority to satisfy this stuff down here. So then instead of these, it's URI dot set authority. Like, so, okay, I suppose I should have an authority new. Do you need those get set for tests? Yeah. It's this test where we're generating the string for a URI based on the pieces. So here are the pieces. And I figure it's easier on the implementation to construct the authority and set that in one step. You know what we could do? We can do this several different ways. How do I want to do it? Maybe just keep it simple. Which would be, we make an authority here, let mute authority equal authority default. And then authority set user info, host and port. And then URI.set authority. Okay, so then I need that. Set. This is out of alphabetical order, isn't it? This should go after. And set fragment should go before. There. Okay. Trying to see where that red squiggly is. Okay, it's here on set host. Is this not the correct type? How come it's going to the wrong thing when I click it? Host is what? Oh, yeah. That doesn't... Oh, I know why I did that. It's an option... why did I do that? I don't remember why I did this. I think what I want to do is if all of them are... If all of them are none, then there is no authority. Really, I shouldn't have done it that way, though. Okay, I'll just deal with it. It's only if... Yeah. If there's... You can't have... If you have an authority, you have to have a host. Right, so for these I have to have something, don't I? Yeah, okay. So then it's going to be unwrap or default then. Right? It's going to be unwrap. Why isn't it letting me unwrap? Unwrap or else, yeah. Unwrap or else does what now? I got and syntax error, so IntelliSense is not going to help me. Unwrap or else. Sure. That's the lazy one, right? Unwrap or else empty binary slice. Can I infer type? But do I have a problem here with the T again? Yeah, look at that. There's no T. Okay, now it compiles, but we have warnings. Yeah, because we're not using the formatter yet. What else? We're not using any of these. That's fine. Actually, can you do that? You can't. Okay, well, we're going to have warnings all around then. I might as well just leave those in. Okay, so then run it. What's the first thing unimplemented? Set authority. Easy enough. Self.authority equals... Oh, that should be an option. Yeah. Authority. Okay. Then that down here should have been a sum. Oh, wait. Yeah, I need to have that check. Only if we have an authority do we set some authority. Yeah, and we should test setting none. Yeah, and then here it's going to be if test vector.user info dot is, how come it's giving me trouble here? Is some or test vector host is some or test vector port is some. And then I want to allow unused parens here. All right. Yeah, but if I get rid of the parentheses, it looks weird to me. That I have a hard time accepting that right now. So for now, I'm allowing the extra parens with that. That's the cost of doing it, is just to suppress the warning. It's just something I need to get used to. When I get used to it, I'll do it the right way and remove the warning suppression. Not yet implemented. Generate string. No. Wait, why did we end up set? Oh, that's my thing. Okay, yeah. Set path from string needs to do a split. And then convert to bytes. And then call set path. So that would be self.setPath path.split slash dot collect. Do I want collect here? I don't want to do a double construction here. Maybe I ought to make it take an iterator for the path. like this. Where T is standard iterator U8. No? Oh, item equals. I can't do that? A, I guess. So then I don't need to do a collect, right? I just need to do a map. Segment dot as bytes, right? No? Okay, why not? Oh, because I'm missing a parentheses. Cool. So then I can just do as bytes, right? That's what it's trying to tell me there? Why not? Fix it for me. Aha. I like the fix it for me. Okay, do I even need to say standard iter? I don't. Great. It's probably in the prefix or whatever. Okay, so then what's it telling me here? I'm not using it. Okay, so to use it, I would just collect it into the vector, right? So I would do self.path equals path.collect. And do I need to give it a type? Oh, I need to build the individual segments first. So that's a map, right? Segment dot to owned. Then collect it. And then like it's saying, probably telling me I can just remove the closure. Interesting. Okay. That works. Hey, look at that. Awesomeness. Run the test again. What did I not implement next? Okay, I did not implement set query. That's easy. Self.query equals query to owned. Magic! Thank you for the follow. Oh. It's like a different one, like into or something, right? No? I'm having trouble remembering these things. We did this with one of the other sets, right? Yeah, it was this. Map into. I'm having such trouble remembering this stuff. All right. Run it. What's next? If you're wondering why I'm leaving things to do until I get to them, it's to make sure that my tests cover everything. Thank you for the follow. So set fragment's the same thing, right? Self.fragment equals fragment.map f to f into. Back to the test. What's next? Okay, so the stringification. So that's a little bit longer, right? And I have that in C++ as a generate string here. Here we go. Paste. Actually, I probably could break this up, but have the authority to do its part by itself, right? Yeah. So I was using the string builder, string stream in C++. Instead, I'm using the formatter, right? So I would say if let sum scheme equal self.scheme, then f dot write, right? F dot, or is it write? comma, and then we're going to do that colon for the scheme. That. Wouldn't it be better to accept own values and move them into the URI instead of hiding the clones in those methods? Probably. Yeah, now that you say that, so if you pass in something, that's already been heap allocated, it would end up duplicating it again, wouldn't it? You get a point. So then I'm going to back up a little bit, because I'm going to forget to do that if I don't do it now. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for the intos, right? So how would I do that then? How would I accept a known? I mean, that would mean you'd have to convert it to I'd have to expose the internal data type, right? Is there a way to do it without exposing the internal data type? In other words, to do it without having to do that, because that exposes the internal data type. I mean, I could do it that way, right? And then just say that. Heck, actually, hold on. If I'm using the generic, if it already is owned, doesn't the into do a no-op? Hey, my GeForce Game Ready driver is available. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the question is, does this do anything if T is already a vector of unit8s? Like, is vector unit8 implicitly implement from itself and into be a no-op? Then I don't need to do anything, right? How would I test that? I'd call it where the thing is already a vector and see what it does. So like, we can say authority.setUserInfo vec from bstring username. And I need to make that a slice, don't I? Actually, how do you make a vec? I guess I just put bytes in here, right? 1, 2, 3. And I have to say sum. So, like, what does that actually do? Let's just see what, I'm just curious, what does that actually do if we single step through it? Debug it, please. Wait, it already panicked? Or, no, that's an old thing. So I'm going to step into, it did an exchange malloc of some kind. Size is 3. Okay, so I think it's safe to step out of that and then step into again. Interesting. Convert self into vector without clones or allocation. The resulting vector can be converted back into a box via vec. What type are we in the implementation of here? I'm looking at the breadcrumbs to find out, but this is in my way. Implementation of array of t's. Oh, okay, so we're still constructing the we're still inside of that vector macro, I think. Okay, and then single step in. Oh, we already have our user info. Oh, did I just crash the debugger? Didn't mean to do that. Unread memory. Debuggers has issues sometimes. What's it doing here? Oh, it's converting the Oh no, that was what I wanted to look at. Dang it. Can I start over again? Okay, single step in, out of that in here, out of that in here. What does this into do? And then what does this function do? Stepping in. There we are. Oh, there we go. From implies into tu, into u. Oh, it's just forwarding into the from. Okay, well, there you go. Implementation of from t for t is just t, so it's a no op. So it should just move it. In fact, that's what this semantics is, right? Where the input gets moved in and then moved out. So that should get optimized away, right? Cool. So that's a good reason to use this generic in the first place, right? Because if I don't use the generic, then it would have created, we would have created a vector and then got a slice of that and then created another copy of it. So good to know. Okay. What's the warning around here? I'm noticing this warning. Oh, just this. Yeah, because we were working on this. Okay, so no longer to do. How much is there? There it is. Okay. Almost 5 o'clock. I don't know how much longer I'll stream for. Scheme here is a string. Cool. So then that's done that part. Okay, so if let some authority equal self authority, right? And here's where I want to kind of leverage the authority class. I just want to be able to say / authority and let it handle that part. Let it handle this part. Whoop. Let it handle this part for me, which means I need to implement display for authority, so I might as well just do that now. So impl standard format display for authority. And then light bulb implement missing member, and then let's go down to here and grab this text out. And then go to this format for authority and paste. All right, and then so this is if let some user info equals self.user info, and by the way, we should be borrowing, not taking away. Okay, we need to run it through encode element. That should be a shared function, so we'll just say write f and then at encode element user info. It's a thing, if somebody accidentally passes a reference, it clones automatically instead of warning. That's why most functions in Rust don't do generics like that. So is the way that I did it bad? Because it looked to me like if you pass in a reference, it will clone, but if you pass in a owned value, it'll just move it. It seemed right to me. Ultimately, I know it wants to retain, it wants to own it, right? Maybe there's another trait like toOwned that I should be doing instead of into or from. Something more precise about what we want to do with the parameter. We want to own it as something else or something like that. But then I would be exposing the internal type, which I don't want to have to do, but maybe there's no way to avoid it. I don't know. I'm missing a parentheses there. Okay, I need to have encode element. I might as well add that now. Where to put it? I guess we'll put it here. So this is element in, and then I guess a string out to do. And we will borrow. Oh, that is not string, it's U8. There we go. Not bad, but unexpected. I wish I had more insight into why. I wish I was a silent Z. The host... Why does it matter if it's empty or not? I don't know why I have this. Because encoding an empty host would just be an empty string. What if I try to get away with not doing that? So instead we just do this. Which means I probably want to move the validate functions outside of URI. Either that or make authority a subtype of URI. No, I think it's okay to be in the module scope, right? Validate. So I want to move these two functions out of here, out of the implementation of URI, and just make them module scope along with encode element. There we go. All right, so then I don't need a self anymore. Right? Yeah, okay, cool. So then back down. Perhaps there's a test case for it? Perhaps. Okay, so then this is validate IPv6 address, and that should say if it, this should be self host. If it is okay, then we're going to write bracket element bracket, and then this is self.host.to ASCII lowercase. There we go. Otherwise, we're calling encode element, right? So write, I'll just copy this and put self-host in there. Oh, there's an optional, yeah, that was missing here, wasn't it? Shoot. That must be a default of some kind. No, it wasn't a default, I just missed it. User info, yeah, I just missed it. That is what's missing. There. Okay, and then we'll probably want to borrow them. So, yeah, this encode element, I should just collapse this. It's getting in my way. Collapse. You collapse too. Yeah, this needs a second parameter. It's the allowable characters. What did I call it here? Allowed characters. This should be a hash map, hash set of chars. Right? I think. Yes. Okay, so then we'll do that later. Borrow that, please. Okay, what's wrong here? Wait, this has to be, this wants bytes? No, this wants a string. Ooh. Okay then. So not only does it need to be expressible as a string, it needs to look like an IPv6 address. Okay, so then I should do that. I should make that attempt here. Let host as string equal self host dot try. No, it's like string try convert, right? String, or is it str? I forget what it is. It's like try to decode or something like that. Try. I forget what it is. Try something. I don't see it. Or maybe it's... Oh, maybe it was one of these. Yes, from UTF-8. Yeah. String from UTF-8. If... I'm going to have those extra parentheses. Oh, yeah, extra parentheses is fine. If host as string... Well, if... Can I do two if lets at one time? If let some host as string equal host as string. Actually, I can just put this in here, right? Can I have that and... Is it going to let me do that? Or is that too advanced for this? Well, first of all, that should work, right? No. Let expressions in this portion are experimental. Okay, so no then. So put that back. I'll just do it this way. If host as string is okay, and validate host as string unwrap, I guess, is okay, then write it. Self, well, we need to encode it. No, I don't need to encode it. I just need to go to ASCII lowercase. This should borrow... Wait a second. Let's go, Rust. That's right. Small brute. Hey, how are you doing? So I don't know if I'm going to be going much longer. Parentheses are throwing it off. Well, let's put allow unused parens for now. Mismatch types. Oh, all right, I need to borrow. Again, C++ bias of mine is I forget to borrow when I need to borrow. Okay, what's the error here? If vector doesn't implement... No, but that's not what I told it to do. What is it? To ASCII lowercase... Okay, it doesn't convert it back to a string. Okay, I'm just going to use host as string unwrap then. Too bad I have to unwrap it twice. Okay, otherwise we're encoding the host directly. Why does this not work? Oh, I need the need this one. There. Okay, and then the last part, if what happened there? If let some port equal self.port, right? F colon port. I always get things wrong the first time. What did I do this time? Oh, I forgot. No. What did I do wrong here? Expected result found unit. Oh, we need a result at the end. Okay. Unit. There we go. I satisfied it. Yeah, because each of these can return early, right? Should I have done this on all of these? Probably, right? Because write is fallible. Yeah, write is fallible, so we should be doing that everywhere. Okay. Well, there we go. I am going to need to do encode element. I might as well just do it now. That's just this. It's the percent encoding, so, you know what? Why don't we just return an iterator? Can we do that? Rather than all this pushback nonsense? I'll leave that as a possible improvement later. To do. Explore possibly returning an iterator instead of a string. I'll put that up here. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. Okay, so knowing it's a string, we're gonna let mute is string new. All right, it's not gonna like it unless it's snake case. And then we're gonna say for cin element iter, correct? Because you can't just say arrays don't implement iter. Oh, maybe they do. Okay. This needs to be translated to allowed underscore characters, and we remove that contains this lowercase for hash map, and we borrow. Actually, we don't need. It's already a reference, right? Okay, no, we need to. We need to convert it in there. So let c equal. Well, ch equals. Well, or this is really coming in as an integer. Let c equals ci as char. That. Okay, yeah, that's fallible, right? We can't just do that. So then the proper thing to do. Yeah, not only does it have to be in the allowed characters, it has to be representable as a single byte. So I should, what should I do? It should be in 2 parts here, right? Well, it's easy, right? I can just say if c is less than 127. And well, wait, what am I doing? I can just do it this way. I can say let c equal char. I forget. But the direct conversion, the try from or something, right? Yeah, isn't it char try from? CI? Wine. Oh, do I need to say as U32? No, I just need to dereference it. Yes. So that's fallible, correct? Because non-ASCII codes won't convert to a character correctly. So this is a result. Right. So then I can just say if c dot is okay and allowed characters contain c dot unwrap, then push it back. Yes, and then I want to have those. Oh, actually, that's wrong. I want to have those extra parens again. Until I get used to the convention that Rust doesn't like to have the extra parentheses. What's wrong with this? What's the error here? Oh, I need to dereference it. I need to borrow it. Again, the borrow versus the reference versus dereference thing always gets me. Same thing, and okay, push back is just push, right? Yes. Okay, and then otherwise we're just pushing individual characters. Might as well make it unused parens in the whole file. Yeah, but I only want it in these specific cases where I have a multi-line if. In other places, like where I'll have a single line if, like in the C++ code, for example, here, I do want it to warn me if I accidentally forget to do that. It's only if what I would want to do is say, warn me about unused parens unless I have multi-line. That's what I would prefer it be able to do. Okay, so then in the end here we're just returning encoded element. Okay, then I need this make hex digits. I can do that with built-in Rust, right? I can just say push these are CIs. There's like a from hex digit of char, right? Or 2 hex digit or something. I don't know. There should be a 2 hex digit somewhere. Hex digit. There's an is, but how do I convert 2? Okay. Google it. Rust. Convert integer to hex digit string or character or whatever. Oh, just do a format X? Sure, we can do that. Then I can do this in one step, right? There isn't an easy way, so I might as well just do it this way, right? What do I prefer? Uppercase or lowercase? Uppercase. So it would be push. Might as well do it in one step, right? Format X. And then I can put the percent in front even, so I can only need one push. Does push work for a string? No, it only works for a character. So what is it? Is it append or something? Or plus equals? I hope this works. You can't plus equal something? Oh no, that's just missing its argument. No. Expected slice got string? So what? Borrow it? Okay, well there we go. Upper for sure? Yeah, I agree. Alright, hopefully that works. Looks kind of gross to me, but that's okay. Going to see if this actually works now. Nope, I got a bug somewhere. Oh yeah, we're not done writing this. So that was actually moved already. Special case absolute but empty path. Okay, so then if self is path absolute, self or borrow self.path, oh, we had a special syntax for this, right? Where was it? It was like dot first dot something else. Was that it? First is some? I can't remember what I did like 3 hours ago. Where am I? I'm totally lost now. Back up to where this was. Here we go. Hey there, Greyjack. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. What am I up to? I am taking a C++ implementation of the internet standard that tells you how to parse URIs, uniform resource identifiers, so like URLs and stuff like that, and parse them or break them up into various pieces. I already have that coded in C++, and sort of both as an exercise to get better at the Rust programming language and also to build up more stuff I can do in Rust, I'm taking my existing C++ code, porting it to Rust. So I'm making a Rust crate or library that can take a string like that and pull it apart into the various pieces and then reassemble them after you change parts or whatever. And there already are crates to do that in Rust. HTTP crate, URI, parse trait, but they each have some issues with them. I have some issues with each of them. Also, I enjoy doing stuff myself on the stream, so I am coding it myself, but not from scratch. It's based off of previous, like I said, the C++ code, and I'm porting it over. So like this encode element, for example, I just ported that. This is taking a string that has characters that need to be percent encoded and doing the encoding if it's required. Will I publish it to crates.io? Maybe. We just need to find a cool name like Raimurai. Anyway, that's the C++ version, and the Rust version is here. So it's, roughly equivalent. We're looping through every element in the array. Each element is a byte. And we see, can we convert it to a character? If we can, and it's in our allowed character set, then we just put it in as is. Otherwise, we do the percent encoding, which is percent and 2 hex digits. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Only I got a compiler error because I'm not done porting here. So, it has to be absolute. And self.path.length, I guess, equals 1. Yeah, I'll just straight port it like that. And then this needs to be a right f, just a slash, right? And again, I, for now, want to allow unused parens on a case-by-case basis where I do that stuff. Just write, not take a character. Fine, take a string. Okay, and then what am I doing here? Okay, for one, I don't need to do that in Rust because we can just do the enumerate, right? So I can say for I comma segment in reference. Do I need a reference? Self.path. Why is it popping it way down here and then moving it? Iter.enumerate, right? We're going to write to the formatter the result of calling encode element in the segment, and the allowed characters is pchar, not encoded, not percent encoded. And then we have this syntax. Reset VS Code? I might have to, right? Okay, so impl path becomes self path length. And then another one of these there, and I don't need to do a plus plus. Okay. Yeah, see, I still get that wrong, whether I need to borrow or not, all the time. Thank you for the follow. If I didn't say thank you, I might have. I'm just spacing out. All right, so then the if has query becomes if let some query equals self borrow self query. Then we're going to write it out. I should have copied the line where we did an encode element. Yeah, that's what we really want to do. And we're putting a question mark in front. And this is query. And this is the allowed character set, and we're done there. Oh, I don't have that ported over yet. Iter already takes a reference? I suppose that's what it is. I just don't have that memorized. Yeah, see, it borrows from self for us, so that's why I didn't have to borrow. Okay, so then this is a straight copy with just fragment instead of query, right? With a different allowed character set. And in the end, we're done but we have to do an OK. And these, actually, I need to remember to do this. Write is fallible, so I need to put a question mark at the end of all of these to do an early return if it fails. All right, so then I need to port that one over. It's missing. Let me find it. There it is. Where does that go? Okay, it goes right after courier fragment. Okay, so then it goes right after this one. So get rid of that, get rid of that. Make those into that kind of style. There's a lot of this I'm doing right now is boilerplate stuff. So these are character sets. I chose to use hash set to encode them, and we're just building them up. We're using the lazy static macro, which makes it so that the first time we use it in the code, it'll construct it as sort of a global variable, but mostly, you know, a constant. We're not modifying them in any way. So we're going to pull from the unreserved character set, but they're also we're going to chain in this array. It's probably best to just indent all these guys, right? And then say that iter, and then copy and collect. All right, there we go. So compiler error up here. Yeah, I forgot to borrow. Again, I forget to borrow all the time. borrow wherever you need to borrow. Don't move. Move is the default. Okay, let's try again. Jeez. Okay, another compiler error? Way up here this time. Wait. Oh, here it is. What did I do here? Can't move out. Yeah, that's because we need to borrow. We can't do that. Why not? Mismatch types. What? Oh, it takes it? So what does that mean? I have to clone it? Okay. How about into? No, not into, clone. And then what's going on here? I don't want to move it. Hold on, what? Where did I move it? Where did I move it? Move occurs on 474. Consumes the receiver self by taking ownership, which moves it. I don't see where I... Is it here where I did it by accident? No, that just borrowed it. Maybe better to use one cell for lazy stuff. That's on the list of things to look at. The viewer who told me about lazy static also recommended I look at one cell, but I haven't done that yet. So it's on my list of things to review after I'm done, is to go through all the notes from the viewers in the past 3 or 4 streams and incorporate some of the other suggestions. I'm just going with something that works for now. Unwrap takes self. Does it? So then I want to... I want to do as ref or something like that, right? I can never remember this stuff. Yeah, I want to... I guess what I can do is I can just say let host as string equal host as string unwrap at this point. And then borrow it. Actually, it can take it, that's fine. No, this is still a problem. It was moved before there. Is it here? Oh no, it was done here. That's what's going on. Oh. So I need to rewrite this. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Let's just unwrap this a little bit. So if it is okay, then let's just unwrap it. And then after we unwrap it, if it looks like a valid IP address, then, and only then, do we write it out like that. The only problem is that I'll have to duplicate this code here. right? I'll need to have, oops. I'll need to have that in an else. You check before wrap, instead of checking and wrapping, it's, oh, okay. It has no quick fix though. Instead of checking and wrapping, it's better to use if, let, or match. Okay, sure. If, let, okay, that, equal that. Sure, why not? I don't need to do that. It's I just don't like having this duplicate line of code here. Maybe I'll just leave a note here. Note, explore how to rewrite this so as not to have the redundant formatting of the host as not a valid IPv6 address. Match. Let me think about that. If I did a match, oh, you would have okay if it validates and then everything else, like this, right? You would do something like this if that, right? And then this becomes just everything else, right? Like that. And that works. No, it worked. It worked, Silency. You got it. Thank you. Because that took the unwrapped string there. And this was the result, unwrapped. So that just works. So it'll say, okay, it's okay, but if it fails a validation, it'll then shortcut out and do this one anyway. Yeah, I like it. So Silent Z knows a lot more about Rust than I do. That's why he's got a lot of points. Okay. Then, ready to try the test again? Ooh, mismatch. There's an @ sign. There's an extra @ sign in there. I think I know why. I think I did a copy-paste fib, or bug. In authority. Yeah, look at that. I have one there. What was it supposed to be? Generate string. Okay, there's just no character in there. It just got in there by mistake. All right, so this is why I have unit tests. What now? Oh, the fragment has the same character as the query. That's another copy-paste bug. So that's here, right? Yeah, right here. Fragment. There we go. It colored that blue. Do I need to be concerned about that? Do I need to escape that? That worries me that it made it blue. I will find out. All right, run. Oh, this one's got an extra / expected. Oh, that might be the fault of me not changing my test vectors back to before. What was it? Which one was it? Bob at www.example.com. It's the very first one? No, it's not the very first one. It's the second one. Wait a minute, there is a / there? Oh, maybe there was. Okay, let me look at the original. The original is here. Oh yeah, there wasn't one. I get you can see it, right? Yeah, there we go. So I accidentally No, that is correct. Okay, so I do have a bug. It's putting in an extra slash when it doesn't need to. Right? Yeah, the actual is putting in an extra slash there. Okay. Why would it do that? Is it because I have empty string? Oh, it might be in something I did with that set path from string thing. Like if I split an empty string on that, do I get an empty vector? Guess I can see. Which test case would this be? The second one, so I should let it go twice. Debug. Oh. I still have that test line in? I don't need that. Okay. Try again, please. Is it still running? It's... Okay, there we go. So, what do we have for path? Okay, so continue. Okay, yeah, so for empty string, what do we get? Yeah, empty vector, right? So, self path will be an... Oh, is that not empty? It says 1 there. It isn't empty, is it? There's an element there. Okay. Why is there an element in there now? This... So map always returns you... I mean, a split always returns you at least one thing then? Split... Oh yeah, look at that. You get a single element empty thing if there's no delimiter. That's not good. I want it to be empty array if there's nothing nothing in there. Do I have to handle that case specially then? I probably do, right? All right, I'll handle that case specially. So what would I would do an if here, right? If path dot is empty, empty vector, so vec default, else split and convert to bytes, right? And is that not right? Oh, what's the type of it? Yeah, I need to have like an empty iterator. Iter once, good idea. No, I don't. I don't want an even one. How do you make an empty iterator? None? Is there a none? There's no none. I want to have an iterator that has nothing. That iterates nothing. There's got to be some like empty maybe. There we go. Yields nothing. That's exactly what I want. But it's a different type here. That's a problem. Empty is not compatible with the map. I guess I'll just have to split it outside. So either you set path with nothing, or you set it by splitting it. Now what? Oh, I messed this up, right? It should be self.setPath that. Right. Okay, try again. Okay, we got further. Oh, right. No, that's not right. It percent encoded the entire thing. Why did it do that? It percent encoded all of that. Oh, did that not parse as an IPv6 address? I see. Yeah, so it's when it gets to that IPv6 address one. Where was it? Where the host was... yeah, I gotta remove the brackets. They weren't in the original version. I only had to add the brackets to satisfy URI parse. Right? The original doesn't have those brackets in there. Yeah, the original doesn't have the brackets for the host. Wait a minute, is there more than one place? Yes. Okay, so these don't have any of the brackets. And all my spacing is screwed up. I'll go back and fix that one of these days. Try again. Here's a case where there's no slash. That might be, again, my mistake in the test vector. Can they add that UTF-8 character back? Which one? Oh, this guy? Right here? Only if I allow constructing from a string, because that you can't put into a binary string. I had to change it into hex because it because this is using a set host that takes a array of bytes. If I took a UTF-8 string, I could do that. So yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, do that as bytes here. But I think the way I have this set up, it needs to be static, and I don't know if if the as bytes would work. I'll try it later. I want to go back and remove all those B's anyway from these, especially for the for the path. I went ahead and added the helper now, right? I added the from string. What it really should do is set host from string, and it should be able to take it. Then it wouldn't have to do this junk, right? Yeah, get rid of the B's. Okay, so the one I made a mistake on is over here. Yeah, the originals don't have slashes at the ends, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So there shouldn't be any slash there or on the next line either. Yeah. Why does it keep jumping like that? Keeps jumping. Run. I want this test to pass. It's not passing. Oh. Did I not do it too lower? Huh. Okay. I didn't translate it to lowercase somehow. That's this last one. Okay, we're actually on the last test case, I think. Or are we? Yes, we are. So the very last test case, it's supposed to take this mixed upper lowercase and flatten it to lowercase, but that part's broken. That was in authority, right? The host part? Oh, yeah. There we go. I need to do make, well, can I do as? Or two ASCII lowercase. There we go. IPv6, that's right. We support IPv6 addresses. URI parse does not. Yes! We pass. We passed. Alright. Now, does this one pass? Yes. Cool. Should I just move on to the last couple tests then? And then I'll be done with this damn thing? URI parse instead of URI parse reference. All that junk. Okay, so then... this should be just sum be empty for URI.query. and then assert that the URI to string is that. Yes. And then set the query. And here's where I don't need to do that bizarre backwards, that word's escaping me. Fish thing. I should just be able to set query to none. Turbo fish, that's right. Turbo fish. Thank you. I must be getting tired. See, my library doesn't need the weird backwards turbo fish. Okay, so then again. So I don't need to do an unwrap. But I do have this shortcoming that I need to say address of binary string slice. But then I don't. So yeah, this is a shortcoming of my library I need to fix. Isn't this just this? Like that? Yes. Run it. Pass. Moving on. We're going at turbo fish speed. Try from that. We should get some Barbie. One of these two. We don't need these funny unwraps. Okay, new auth is authority. Wait a minute, I don't have a get authority. I'm missing that. Okay, let's add it. Function authority. Public function authority. Borrow from self. We get a borrowed authority. Optional option. Borrowed authority. Must use is respect my authority. Okay, and then we just say self.authority.asDref, right? No? Why not? I need to satisfy. Okay, so authority needs to. Why does it say lazy static? Is it because I need to derive some trait for authority? Like dref? Can't do that. I am doing that correctly, right? That's what I'm doing in other cases like that. Oh, maybe is it as ref? Not as dref. Yeah. All right. We're not dereferencing. We're just getting a reference. Yes. Okay. Cool. Why do I have a warning up here? I have a warning up here. What is this about? You check before unmap. Oh. Turn off my phone's alarm here. I already unwrapped. Okay, is this another case where I unwrapped it twice? What did I do in the other place where I handled this? It's complaining that I unwrapped it twice, right? It was with I did it with a match, right? Hey, Squiddy, how are you doing? Yeah, wasn't it with a match? I did a match. Then I won't need the allow unused parens, right? Match C, and then I say okay C and if that, right? Yeah, that's what I did. If it contains that character, then push that element as is. I'm tripping up over this keyboard. Copy that to there. And then otherwise, we do this stuff. That's better, right? And then I don't need this unwrap, because it's already unwrapped. Yeah. Yeah, it's saying that the end it's infallible, which, like, yeah, this putting it through the match with this conditional lets me avoid having to unwrap it. Okay, so then back down to here. Where was I? I forget where I was. Oh yeah, I was in the middle of converting this, right? Okay, so then I don't need an unwrap here. But this will need... Oh, wait a minute. How did this actually work? Oh, because it's convertible. Oh, that's cool. But wouldn't that be fallible? No, it won't. It will... Right, you can always convert characters to UINT8s. You can always convert a string into a vector of UINT8s. It just gets you the UTF-8 encoding. So that just works. That works fine. That's great, actually. I should... If I did that for query, then... Wait a minute. So shouldn't it work for query too, then? Can't I just say bar? Is it because it's inside the option? Is that the difference with that? Oh, yeah. I didn't know how to do the generic on that yet. But this has the generic applied to it. So it just works. That's cool. All right, so anyway. Should be able to say set authority and then run this. Yay, pass. Okay, moving on. URI parse from that. Set the query to none. No need to unwrap. And then make sure it's that. Run. Yay, it passes. Am I almost done? Aha! So we can finally do this test. Because we support this. %encode plus in queries. So URI is... Why does this try from empty string unwrap? Oh, that's just URI default. And then set it to some... I guess we still need to do this until I figure out how to do the from stuff. You don't need to do an unwrap, though. There we go. Run it. There we go. We're passing all the tests. I should probably check it into Git. All 47 tests pass. We're not using URI parse anymore, right? So I can drop that from my dev dependencies. Goodbye, URI parse. Nice knowing you. Okay. Whoa. Can I get a terminal, please? How many terminals do I need? 31 terminals? It didn't close any of them? Okay, maybe that's why we're having such trouble. Let's reload the window. Cargo check... cargo clip... Whoa. Why did it switch the window on me? I was typing there. Cargo clippy, please. Okay, cargo test. Still have some warnings, but... That's because I'm not using try from anymore? Interesting. That's... Where exactly? Here. Okay, don't need try from. Cool. Cargo test. No warnings. They all pass. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's the new run. No warnings, everything passes. Great. Let's check it in. So now that it's all implemented, now I can go back and try to do some of those to-dos. So yeah. Finish initial port of the library to Rust. Commit. Push it up to the GitHub. To the GitHub. I did not mean to hit that button. Ran debug on something. Okay, so I have a bunch of to-dos, right? I don't need to know the notes. We're not doing Raft right now. Yes, here are all my to-dos. Okay, so I could learn about using this error to define library errors. I don't really want to do that right now. Consider named tuples instead of the test vectors. Looks like there's a macro for named tuples under named tuple. No, that's okay. How about this one? Looking at one cell instead of lazy static. What happens when somebody calls set query or any other setter with invalid characters? There is no such thing as an invalid character. My library will %encode any character that needs to be encoded. So it's impossible to have it. That's one of the problem. That's one of the gripes I had against the URI parse library, that they made setting the query fallible. I don't think it ever should be. You can put anything you want in the query string. If it's otherwise invalid, you would %encode it. So my test vectors cover that. Let me find it. Close that for a sec. Yeah, so I have a whole bunch of goofy characters somewhere. Where did I do that? Is it here? I think I just played around with the space character, because the space character is not usually valid anywhere inside a URI. So this set of vectors here puts a space character in the user info, and then it tries to put it in the host name, and then it tries to put it in the path, and then in the query, and then in the fragment. And then in all the expected outputs, it's supposed to %encode that space everywhere. Oh, scheme is special. Scheme, the way I handle that is the set scheme actually takes a string. So I rely on string to do the checking for me. Hey, prof element. Oh, but what if you set a string that has invalid characters in the scheme itself? Aha. Which to-do plugin I use? I think I use to-do plus. Yeah, to-do plus. But there was another one to put it in this panel, right? Or is this the same? I think maybe it's the same plugin, to-do plus. Yeah. It's pretty cool because, like, as I was going through, I was writing these to-dos, and I just knew that I'd be able to keep it organized because the extension would let me list them all again so the other thing that this does that I use a lot is it'll understand a to-do file. So I don't know if I have one in this project, but I have one for my game. If you make a to-do file, it formats stuff like this, and like if you add stuff, like let's say I wanted to research something new, hit Alt-Enter, it automatically puts a timestamp in there, look up stuff. And if I later decide I don't want to do that anymore, I just hit Alt-C and I cancel it. Or if I'm done with it, I think it's Alt-D, marks it as done. So that's pretty cool. I use that. The extension works for standalone to-do files. It does that stuff. And yeah, and this is its other function. Yeah, this looks nice. Every time you say scheme, Lisp comes to mind. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it. It's possible. Look, actually, I do think I have a bug even in the original C++ code. I never verify that what you get to set scheme is valid. Yeah, it never validates it. And then when we actually go and use that, it probably never, yeah, it just prints it out. So if you put an invalid character like a space in there, you can actually get a bad URI. I don't know, you think I should improve on my library by doing some kind of check? I should make set scheme fallible, maybe? We could do that. Why not, right? Oh, I also have to fix that test. Look at that. That's all broken. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Wonder what was wrong with that one. Oh, it was probably on in this vector of vector, or this slice of slices. How many schemes are there? There's an infinite number of them, because a scheme can be anything according to the standard. The scheme can be anything that begins with an alpha, so A through Z, and then has one or more, or 0 or more alpha digits plus, minus, and dots in it. There is an official process to register a scheme, but you can always make an unofficial one on the fly, right? So actually, I'm curious about this. Where does that lead us? Registration process for URL scheme names. Do they have a list of registrations? Usually, like, there's an official document that lists all the officially registered things. Where do we... This document should say where we go. I don't know. I bet if you search for it long enough, you'll find it. There's probably a registered list of a list of registered scheme names. There's a famous list standard called scheme. Oh, yeah. That word is overloaded, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's make our library a little bit better then by adding another test for that. So in set in illegal schemes, and we just need to have a list, right? Let test vectors equal some list, and so here's some illegal things. AB underscore DE is illegal because we're not allowed to have underscore, right? We can only have alpha, which is defined where? Letters. I guess we have to go to this one to see what alpha means. Okay, alpha is capital A through capital Z, or something between lowercase a and lowercase c. While we're here, let's look at digit. Digit is 0 through 9, okay? So we can have A through Z, uppercase or lowercase, or we can have 0 through 9, or we can have dash, dot, or I'm looking at the wrong one. I need to look at scheme. Plus, minus, or dots. So underscore is not allowed, right? I didn't need to do that. Underscore is not allowed. What else is not allowed? Slash, I guess. How about one with a colon in it? And empty string is also not allowed. You can have no scheme, but you can't have an empty string scheme. What else? That's probably good enough, right? Yeah, I can throw that in there. A bare one, and then something like foobar. Why not? So we'll say for test vector in test vectors, let URI equal URI parse, no, default. URI dot set, this needs to be mutable. Set scheme to test vector. Can't type, sorry. Oh, sum. Yes. Trait found is not set. Is that because I need to reference that? Yep. Okay. So then What we actually want is for it to give us a result. So we should say assert that this is an error, right? And then elsewhere where we call set scheme, we should assert that it is okay. Is okay, right? Okay, that means set scheme has to return a result with unit and error. Okay, so then, did I get that wrong? Oh, it's just saying I'm not returning that. That's fine. So if we get down to here, we do okay. But here we should do a check, right? Where do I do that? Validate? I guess we just go through all the characters and see if the proper set contains it, right? So for C in, well, it's only if it is something, right? If let some scheme equal borrow scheme. For C in scheme chars, do I have to do that? Hold on, what? Is it because it's inside a generic and it doesn't know what the T is? So I should probably do this first. Like that. And then operate on... Wait a minute, what? Annotations needed. Oh, I should just say string, right? And then why does this not work? Oh, this should be option string. There we go. And then if we get down to here, then we just move it in. All right, so then if scheme not first, is that the right one? Oh, right, we have to handle if the first one's an alpha. Yes, this... Oh, I already have a check scheme. What am I doing? I already have a check scheme. Okay. I don't know why I started coding it when I already have it. If... I guess it's just check scheme then, right? Self check scheme. Yeah, it's going to return a result, and we don't need the result. So what do I do here? So check scheme, borrow scheme, question mark. And oh, only if it's some. If let some scheme equal scheme. Check it. There we go. Go to the end. Go to the end. There we go. Run it. Cool. Passed. Just to make sure, because I hate it when the test passed right away, let me put one that's valid in there. Yeah, so that failed because it should have been okay. I mean, it should, yeah, it should have been an error and it wasn't. Thank you for the follow. What'd you miss? I got all the tests to pass. We're all done. It's all working. But I haven't yet gone back and done all the to-dos, all the refactoring. So the top level here, I can run all of the tests like this, and I get passes all 48 of my tests. How am I liking Rust? I like the challenge, and I like how when I get the compiler errors fixed and all the warnings gone, that it usually works right away. The complaints I have a note summary for that. Let me go find it. I think I have it under Rust. My not favorite features. These are the things I don't particularly like. They're not necessarily complaints. And some of these I sort of weakened on over time, like the opinionated naming conventions. I've sort of softened up to that one. This one I still kind of get irritated that I have to pick a size for my integers even when it doesn't matter, or I have to say it's a I size or U size. I don't really like that. I don't like the fact that I can't just say integer or unsigned integer. Yeah, sometimes you have to use a trait to pull it into the namespace in order to get the in order to use a method that trait defines as an associated method, which is sort of annoying because you don't always know what to use, but the compiler tells me what I need. Yeah, the excessive terseness. We can't say string, we have to say str. You pub instead of public, that kind of thing. Yeah, the overloading of the word string, and I still don't know how to. I guess it's string slice, or is it a reference to a string slice? I just don't know. The rigidity. This is usually a pro, but sometimes it's a con to be very rigid that strings contain UTF-8 sequences. This leads to the fragmentation of string types in Rust. You have like dozens of different string types, like path string and array of bytes and all that stuff. The difficulty in doing a few different techniques I don't really like. And this one was really annoying me at one part where I can't mix forward and backslashes in the same path. Whereas every other programming languages, including the Windows operating system APIs themselves, don't have any problem with you mixing them. But Rust does. Don't try to mix them. That's pretty much it. Okay, I'm going to check this in before I move on. Okay, what I did is I made setting the scheme fallible. Yes, so make setting scheme, this is in Rust, make setting scheme fallible by checking for invalid characters. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. It's already 6 o'clock, huh? You check out something. I probably will need to stop soon. Or else I will get burned out today. Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. Huh. My following list isn't showing me everyone who's streaming for some reason. Okay, now it is. Yeah, Twitch is being Twitch. Of course. Alright. Maybe do a few more to-dos and then I don't know how much time I want to spend on this stuff. I probably will just keep it for like if I'm bored and I come back and or if I learn something and I come back and do. Oh, you know what I really want to do though? Fix this test, and that will probably involve going through and fixing a lot of this garbage where we had to do all these slices of byte arrays. Yeah. A convenience method where we do path as string. Yeah, let's do that. So let's imagine that we have a path as string. It will need to be fallible, so we'll want to unwrap it. Because you might have a path that you can't express as a string. But these ones we should be able to, right? So I should be able to then simplify this greatly and just say foo bar for both of these, right? Let's do that. So then let's put a bookmark here. All right, and then let's go to path, and then add pub function path as string. And this is going to generate a new own string. Because we will need to do a conversion that can't reuse the memory, right? Because I'm not smart enough to know how to do that. And then we'll probably want to tell them they must use... We went through all that trouble to put the path into a string and you don't want it? Alright, so then... this is like a join, right? Is there a string join? Like, I know in Python you can just do that dot join. Like the inverse of split. There ought to be a join, right? Join. Or unsplit. Slice join. Let's just look up string. I'd imagine that if string has a split, string would have a join too. What's my reason to do URI parsing? You'd be surprised how many times I've been asked that, Maui. But hello. The fundamental reason is I want to start doing more and more web stuff in Rust, and I didn't like the top two crates that did URI parsing. I had trouble with it. So I decided I'd do one myself. I really couldn't stand that URI parse crate claimed to be an implementation of the RFC, and yet there are bugs. They don't parse IPv6 correctly, and they're very opinionated about who does the percent encoding, and it was just annoying. So I didn't like it. So I ended up wanting to make it myself. What I'm going to use it for is web stuff, so I want to rewrite a report or whatever, a lot of the code I wrote for making web servers and web services in Rust. I'm really getting into Rust, so that's the underlying reason. Isn't it just join? I was looking at that and I didn't see join. Is it just slice join? It's an experimental API, so maybe it's not that one. There's path join. Yeah, no problem, Maui. Makes me think I ought to, didn't we clip this? We might have clipped it one of these days. Let me find out. We clipped something. Ah, yes, this one. Yeah, okay, so I did explain it on day 2. What did I actually say, though? Should I watch myself? Why not? Let's see if I gave a good explanation there. What am I creating? I am creating a library that will parse... let me get the right page. Parse uniform resource identifiers, URIs. They look like this. Parsing means we take it when it's encoded stream form and we decode it to different pieces, right? Not only do we break it into these different parts, we also do stuff like percent encodings, like %20 becomes a space character. So I'm making a library to do that. Now, you might ask, why am I making my own? There's lots out there. I do it to learn, to practice in this programming language that I just learned a few months ago, which is Rust. And also because I couldn't find an implementation of this specification, this internet protocol. Yeah, okay. Called URI, this is that was we've listened to enough. That's the perfect thing. I should actually just make a command for that. You were there for that, yeah. So I'm going to make a adcom, what am I going to call it? URI? Why URI? This clip explains why I'm writing my own URI library in Rust. There we go. Now I should be able to do this. There we go. Actually, it says I'm. It should say why Raimu is, because it's my bot speaking to us. I'm lazy, so I'm just going to go edit it inside my game console here. Why URI explains why Raimu is writing his own library. Update done. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what was I doing here? Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out how to do a join on strings. You think it's slice join 715219? This one flattens a slice into a single value, placing a separator between each. Okay. Let's try that. So it would be what? Self.path.join. Oh, there we go. Separator like that. And then I would want to, that actually makes it an owned version, right? Yeah. No, that makes a join. What, is that just convertible to a string? No, I would want, why is this a result? Oh, because I need to map it to something that's fallible. So yeah, I can't just, I have to map it first before I join. I have to map it, each segment, to convert it to a string. So that is string from UTF-8 segment, and then map it. So this one's fallible, right? From UTF-8 gives me a result, right? So then does join work with that? Do I need to collect it and then map it? Maybe I need to do that. I'm being rated. Hey, someone told me today that you don't get a raid notification for less than 10 people, but there we have proven it wrong. Thank you, Niwa, for the 9 viewer raid. How are you doing today? I'm finishing up a library that I wrote in Rust, which is a port of another library I wrote in C++ to implement a certain internet standard that you might have seen at least a little bit about. It's 3986. It is how we express and parse uniform resource identifiers. So I have now 2 implementations of code that implements 2 implementations of this RFC, one in C++ and one in Rust. So I'm just fixing up a few things I didn't like about the Rust implementation, like that the path part of a URI, I have it expressed as a vector of bytes, you know, vector of vectors, which is kind of gross. So I want to just turn it into a string. It has to be fallible, though, because it's possible in a URI to have a character that is not allowed in UTF-8. Not in the output encoding, but when you parse it and you do the % decoding, so you might have illegal, you know, non-UTF-8 characters. So, but for convenience, if you know that the path conforms to UTF-8 and you want to see it as a string, we want to have this method. But since this part is fallible, I'm just trying to figure, I think I need to join first before I map. But then they're no longer segments, it's the whole path, isn't it? It's still giving me the wrong result, though. Wrong number of type argument. Oh, because I didn't have error here. Okay, now what's wrong with join? Oh, probably because this needs to be the same type, right? No? What's wrong with this? Okay, I need to pick one of those types, so I can just make it a slice? No. Can I make it a binary slice? No. Can I make it a true binary slice? Okay, that worked. Now what's wrong with map? There we go. May want to check out B-string crate. That's probably a good idea. I've been trying to stick with just the built-in B strings, but I ought to at least learn what I don't know. Let me give you a point. Thanks, Greyjack. Alright, so I had this effectively on my list of things to do now. No method name map for a... Oh, I need to iterate it, don't I? What does join give me? It gives me a self as join separator output, whatever that is. Do I need to iterate that or something? No. Oh, wait. This isn't doing what I thought it would do. I shouldn't do a map, should I? I should put this on the outside. And then do that. And just let from UTF-8 delegate it out, right? Okay, except for the errors are wrong. So I could just have a from UTF-8 error. Yeah, why don't we just do that? Basically, I need a converter implementation for my error, like this. So implement from UTF-8 error for error. Did I get that type name wrong? Quick fix. Standard string, I can just type it out. Okay, and then give me light bulb. Yeah, implement missing members. There we go. So I think we're just going to say it's an illegal character. There we go. All right. Now is it going to compile? No. Something else is wrong. Oh, do I just do a question mark there to convert it? No, I'm doing something wrong here. It's not convertible for some reason. Oh, it's a different type. It's a from UTF-8 error. Okay. I got the wrong type here. String from UTF-8 error. Okay. Now what? See, most of my day working with Rust is just fighting the compiler, but, you know, in the end, when the compiler teaches me what to do, it usually just works. It still has a type mismatch. Even though I made a converter between the two, I thought. Did I not do that correctly? I mean, isn't this what lets me convert from one to the other? Maintainer's part of some Rust team, also creator of regex crate. Oh, the B-string crate? Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could map error, but I wanted to use the magic of from. I'm wondering why it just doesn't work. What if I say let x equal that and see what x is? What is x? Result string from, yeah. You would, okay, maybe it's because it's inside of a result. So maybe you're right, I need to map the error. Okay, so then I can just leverage my own from thing by saying, skipping around when I don't mean to. I can just say map error to itself, right? And the from will just work. Really, I can't. I just can't say that. I have to say. I want to be able to use my own converter. Like this is what my converter does, right? But I want the converter to be in one place. Yeah, the from UTF-8 returns a result, but the error type is different. So I thought if I made a from for that, it would just do the conversion for me. But it didn't. I guess I can call it explicitly. From standard string from UTF-8 error. Whatever the name of the method is, let's put a bookmark here. Let's go back up here and find it again. Here. It's just called from. Okay, why didn't that not work? Oh, I could just say error from. There we go. I did it. Now that's leveraging my converter class. because I implement that trait, right? Because I implement that trait here, this will leverage my converter. It's interesting that I have to do that, though. I would think that would just be implicit. So, like, I shouldn't need to do that at all. But yeah, it doesn't know how to convert it by itself. I need to do that. Why doesn't question mark work? I don't know. You would think that it would just work, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to convert that. Incompatible types. It found a string for some reason. Oh, actually, that's because it only returns if there is an error. But I would have to actually say okay this, right? Oh, there we go. We figured out the other way. But this looks weird to me. Doesn't that look weird to you? Maybe I can make it look a little bit nicer if I do this. I don't know. Doesn't that just look weird? I'd rather do it the other way. The other way, I know what's going on. It's like, okay, I gotta map the error from it. Although, one strength of this is that if we had more code to do after we do it, we this could handle the early return with the error for us, and then otherwise we would get the string and we can do more stuff and then return okay. I can just remove the question mark and remove the map error. That's what I assumed that. I assumed that Rust would be smart enough to know how to map one kind of result to another, but it just doesn't. It tells me that it expected one kind of error and it got a different one, even though I have implemented the from trait from one to the other. So your guess is as good as mine why that just doesn't work. I think we'll go with this one, though, because this is a more flexible form, because then I could say, like, you know, instead of saying okay, I could say let x equal that. And then later I could just return x, but I could do some other crap here. Probably it doesn't like that I have these parentheses, but you get the idea. I could do more stuff here and then return okay that. And then this takes care of the early return with the error conversion. Otherwise, we can continue and do more things, or we can just return okay right away, which is what I'm going to do. All right, so now that that's there, where's my test for it? This is it, right? Run the test. Yay, it passes. Of course it passes. It usually passes the first time. What about into at the end? We can try that. Hey, I'm willing to try anything that helps me learn. So you're saying remove the okay and just say dot into. Into says it cannot convert. Let's get a better, let's get an even better display of it here. Terminal, please. Cargo clippy. The trait standard convert from standard result string from UTF-8 error is not implemented for result, so it has to be implemented on the result generic itself. It doesn't reach into result and convert just the error type. It's only. I can kind of understand that. It's like the compiler says, well, I expect result to implement the convert, not the error to implement convert. If it works for you in nightly Rust, then it doesn't work for me, probably because I'm just not using nightly. Anyway. I'm cool with that form of it. I understand why we need to do that. So let me look back at this to-do list. Like string from UTF-8 into... Oh, like without the question mark? Did I try that? No, that's what we did, right? That didn't work. Yeah. I didn't try question mark into, though. But that doesn't make sense, right? The question mark strips away the result and gives me just a string, so that's not going to work. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I have a test I have to fix down here. Actually, that's the only test I need to fix. Yeah. I kind of feel like I have enough to do that maybe I just do this tomorrow then. One more thing, but I'm not going to do this hard one. Let's do an easy one, and then I'll call it. Okay, yeah, I can remove this to do because we just did that. All right. So I should put a I should have a to do for a global to do because this is everywhere, right? To do. Not at this level, but at the tests actually. Here. To do. Numerous tests use your URI path when it would be easier to read if they used the URI path as string. Let's make it a little bit nicer here. Use path as string instead. I'll just leave that there. Okay. One more small thing if I can. All right, so this was something Silenzy asked me to look at. That I can collect in... No, wait, that's what we were doing. Did I just forget to remove the to-do? Yeah, I think I just forgot to remove the to-do. We're already doing that. Okay, good. How about this improvement? Make an iterator and only collect at the end. Okay, that one's a little bit too advanced for the time I have left. How about this? Yeah, that one's too much work. I want an easy one. That one's also hard. Okay, yeah, we can do this one. Explore this alternate syntax to see if it works. Oh yeah, the problem I had with this is that No, I didn't have a problem with it. We just want to see if it works. So just run the tests, right? So put a bookmark there. Go to the tests and run them. Yeah. What do you need soon? Okay. Hey, look, all our tests passed. Now, do I like this alternate syntax? I don't need to say first. Instead, we make it look like an array. And we can do that because path is an array. And dot can match 0 things. Right? Yeah, sure, I like it. Let's keep it. What did I just do? I hit the wrong key there. All right. Test still passing. Okay. That was the one thing I'm supposed to stop now, but I want to do just one more thing. What was this up here? Character is ASCII letter or something like that exists. I think I'm going to keep with this because it's true to the spec, actually. I'm going to look at one cell. Yeah, I'll dismiss that, but I'll keep this one around. What about here? Returning an iterator instead of a string? I don't have the brain power to do that right now. Consider improving. One thing you could consider using even in the previous... Okay, you guys can't see that. Okay. Previous function is matching on tuple of state character. Oh, I see. So not only the state, but also these conditions. I actually kind of like that. Let's see what we can do here. So it would be, we duplicate this out to that, and we'd put this condition in there. And then we could eliminate that. And then just do this. Right? And that shouldn't affect our unit test at all. Yep, cool. So it's slightly different from what Silent Z. Silent Z was saying to actually put the character in the match. But we already have the character available outside the match, so I don't see why I would need to put it in the tuple. And we can't just... Well... I can't put that in the left-hand side of the pattern, can I? Like, can I do this? Match C state, or state C. Can I say this? I don't know how to say that. But I can at least do this much, right? And then here, we can split this up into two other arms, right? So this is if the character is a dot. Then we do this. Next arm is if it is a digit. Then do this. Otherwise, it's an illegal character. Like that. I think it should work. Just get rid of the inner ifs like that. So the ifs are still there, but we got rid of some of the characters like the syntax for the else's and stuff like that. One thing I don't like about it is it's repeating this value 3 times now. Is this better though? It's perhaps a little bit easier to read. But you have to rely on, when you see this, you have to know that we got there because it was not this subset. It's the every other case where we're not in an octet. Right? I don't know. Could you combine these two? How? How would we combine those two? What will we combine? Easier to read and reason about this? Okay. It's just different for me. No, the other ones. Oh, down here? Oh, here? Oh, saying if that or that is true? Couldn't I also use a question mark here? Can I say that? I cannot because I don't have a conversion. Is it the same problem again? Oh no, it's just a different, I just need a different converter. Yeah, so I can do that. I just need this for the other module in here. Up at the top. Right here. Now this will work, right? No. Why doesn't it like it? Oh, is it because I think I had this problem yesterday or the day before, right? The result is some kind of from string error. Okay. I guess we'll keep that out and I don't need this one. Maybe leave a to-do here. Explore combining these two if statements in a better way. Or combining these two if statements or expressing them in a better way. You have to implement it in librs, in your opinion? Oh, you do? I can't just put it in the other module? You're probably right. But I think I was... yeah, this is our own error. I was just confused. You know, what I was looking at was it said there were two things it did find, and one of them was our converter, and the other one was this one here, or not that one, but where was it? I don't even see it now. It mentioned this error somehow. I'm not sure why. Anyway, I think I'm about done. I'm about burned out now. Let's go rate somebody again. The second rate for today. Okay, following. And then I'm also going to pull up to see if anyone is doing Rust. Around this time, though, in the past, I haven't seen any people doing Rust. Oh, Primogen is doing... Let's rate Primogen. What's he doing? First Rust project ownership? Hey, he's AFK. Let's get him while he's AFK. Yeah, no thanks, no problem, 7152. Now you can tell I'm burned out because I'm saying the wrong words. We can raid Primogen while he's gone. Let's see. Raid the channel. We'll push him over 100 viewers. How about that? Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow. I hope. Probably what I'll do is be working on these improvements to clean up this library and finish it. Ready your ASDFs, that's correct. All right, so take it easy, and in 3 seconds I can hit the button. Thank you for being here again. Thank you for all the follows and the resubs and all that. I appreciate it. See you later. Bye. Bye-bye. See you, Uber Unix. Bye.